Hi everyone. This is my second try at recording this intro video. Actually, this is my first YouTube project. I've been playing World of Warcraft for a while, uh, more intensely during Shadowlands. I started playing also in Dragonflight. I played both Season 1 and Season 2. I am a mythic raider. I did mythic progression. I got CE during Shadowlands before last. The jailer, the jailer's raid. I did get C. I'm gonna show you guys this progression in a few. So yeah, I'm a Shadow Priest main. I've been raiding for a long time. I've improved a lot in the game, and recently I've had a few friends that tried to play the game but didn't really get into it. I think the game doesn't do a really good job at teaching you the ways to improve and is really intimidating maybe for new players. So my idea was to do get to a KSM, which is Keystone Master, in Mythic Plus only by plugging, not helping myself either by sending me money or anything, like trying to do it as close to a new player's experience as it could be. My goal is to do full commentary of runs in real time, so I will not be doing commentary post runs. And do daily runs, so maybe 1 or 2 a day. Try to reach the 8 weekly runs for the vault, and not be a no lifer. Like, I'm trying to do something for the casual players, show you guys how to improve, how to get good at the game, giving you tips, and I also don't want to go too much in deep details right from the start. I'll try to do it like in step by step, so adding complexity as we get into higher keys. So I hope to help you guys improve in your trust in into trusting yourself, getting into Mythic Plus, and build like a bunch of tips that I hope to give you and answer your questions and help you guys improve. I mean, I want to give to the community, and I think this is a great way for me to feel like the time I spent on the game isn't wasted in some kind of way. So I hope you guys get a lot of help from this if you're new to the game, or even trying to push for the high end. Hopefully I'll be able to help you guys get there too. So this is for everyone at the end of the day. Of course, the first few runs will be more about the easier content, so I'll be doing +2 keys, which are pretty easy. Everyone should be able to do that. I'll go through this. I won't try to stomp everyone, try to out DPS them and everything. I'll be trying to put myself in your shoes and show you how you can improve, basically step by step once again. So yeah, so let's go just real quick. I wanted to show you what I've done in the past. This is my current Shadow Priest I'm playing. This is the last season, Season 1. This is my progression I did in the Mythic Raid. I was in a 1 day a week raid schedule, so we got pretty far knowing that we only did 4 hours a week, 1 day a week raid. So I'm pretty proud of that. I think they killed the Echo without me. I got pretty burned out at the end. This is kind of a way for me to try to get back into the game also. So thank you guys. I hope I can help someone with this. I hope this is not wasted. So yeah, so this is what I've done in the last patch. I can show you maybe the raid, Vault of the Incarnates. We got to Grim Totem, and you can see I got some pretty good parses on bosses where I had multiple tries to kill it. Senart, we don't talk about Senart, alright? I do not like gliding on ice. This is the character I was playing during Shadowlands, so this is to show you that I did get C. You could say, oh, but you didn't kill some of these bosses. Yeah, I was being benched. Also, I changed guild midway, so I did skip Alendris, which was a pretty painful boss with the bombs. And was it? Yeah, I think that's Alendris, the crab boss was pretty bad. So I didn't get into this. So yeah, I was with the Hoot Nannies, which is the one day a week guild. And I had to switch guild because of my job. I couldn't stay up late, so I joined another guild while they were doing Endwin, and did a pretty good job. So they kept me, and we got Jailer killed on the last week. I think we were doing like 4 or 5 days a week prog just to make sure we get the kill before the patch ended, and we did get it, so it was pretty exciting. So yeah, so you can say I don't have really a good background in Mythic Plus, but I assure you, doing Mythic content like this shows that you got some kind of skill in some way, I hope. So yeah, what's the goal on this particular run? Obviously, I would not think it would be a good way to teach you guys how to improve if I already knew the class by heart. So my idea is to start a new class, and I haven't played in a long time. And my current idea was to build a Retribution Paladin. And so for a new player, I think the best way you could do to like start learning in class is to just do a bit of research. There's either I really like Wowhead and Icy Veins are like pretty much the two most popular ones, I think. I will be using pretty much Wowhead. I think is my favorite one. I think I just like the aesthetics a bit more. But yeah, I will probably be using like some of the default talents. Won't go too far. Try to keep it simple, and use the rotation that they try to give me at first. This will be my start on the journey to KSM, and hopefully I learn a bit from this and it helps me clear my few first dungeons. I wanted to show you guys on Icy Vein you can also find guides. You go on the WoW section here, and you can just select whichever spec you want to learn. So let's say I want to learn Retribution. What I do like about Icy Veins is if you are really struggling with your class, like you try to go on Wowhead and look for rotation and talents, and you just don't get it. It's too hard, too complicated. They do have a easy mode, which gives you like a pretty easy talent build that doesn't go too much into like too many spells to use, too many gimmicks that you have to pay attention to. It's really a beginner friendly. So they give you a talent tree. This is the class tree, the class tree and the specs tree. And then see, there's even one for Mythic Plus. I don't think they had that before. It's the first time I see that, but pretty cool. You can start using this. I might try it at first. I'll see how it goes. I could see myself try this at first. This could be a good idea to play around. I didn't know this existed at all. A Mythic Plus built for beginners on Icy Veins. That's great. And see here, there's even the rotation, which is pretty simple, right? So you see, you have your big cooldowns, what you got to use and everything. And I'll probably read these more in details in a bit, but just wanted to show you guys where to find your initial information about how to play the game. If you're really struggling and you're reading this and it's just too much to learn, I really highly suggest you to just level up a new character like from scratch. And what I like to do is to spam dungeons until I reach the end game. That's what I do to level up all my characters. I'll show you guys how many characters I have maxed. I've done them all doing Mythic Plus dungeons. I just like doing dungeons in game. I like playing with people. I like MMOs. This is the best thing I think you can do. And yeah, getting points and spending them one by one while you level up is a great way to know what you're putting your points into. Because I'll be reading these for the first time like soon when I'll start this season patch, and this is gonna be a lot to read and memorize and be like, oh, this effect, where does it come from? I don't know, because I haven't read all of these. So I'll be able to learn from this as I play, and hopefully I'll find out about everything I've put points into, which I don't think will happen, but we'll see. So yeah, start a new characters if you're struggling. I wanted also to show you guys, this is a tier list from Icy Vein. It's not something that's highly regarded. It's known to be inaccurate. But my only point is Retribution isn't overhyped. I haven't chosen a class that's gonna be top tier, neither bottom tier. I see Shadow Priest at the bottom right here, so I could be interested in trying to do a run where I play really bad specs. Let's see after I get like a first good run and how much the series goes. If I do another one, maybe I'll try something like this. I'm interested. And yeah, if you guys are interested into this, let me know in the comments or something. Yeah, so Retribution Paladin isn't overhyped. It's pretty average. It has a B-res, which stands for battle res. So they can res during a fight. And during a Mythic Plus, you have one B-res every 10 minutes, and not every class has one. So Retribution Paladin does have one, so it's a good reason to have one in a group. But there's also Druids that has B-res, and Death Knights. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Warlocks also has Soulstones, which counts for a B-res. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get into a class that doesn't really have favoritism into getting into a group. I don't want to get a class that has Bloodlust, because some of the Bloodlust is a spell that gives you, I think it's 50%, 30% haste or something. The numbers are really, I don't know. It's been a while, all right, guys. So it gives you a bunch of haste, which means you attack faster and deal a lot more damage for 1 minute. It's crazy. But the timer on this is every 10 minutes. So usually you try to spend these cooldowns during times where the runs are gonna get really difficult. So either big pulls or a really hard boss, depending on the week. And so usually you always have one person with Bloodlust or Heroism if you're Alliance in your group. So there's enhancement, Shaman, both Elemental and Enhancement has it. Mage has their own equivalent of this. I think Augmentation Evoker also has one. And I'm trying to think, Hunters. Hunters has a pet that can also give Bloodlust. So I didn't really want to get into one of these classes because I think it would make it easier for me to get into groups, which I didn't really want for this to happen. So I went with Red Pally. I think, I think B-res isn't as rare than Bloodlust and as necessary. But yeah, I might be wrong. I might get into groups really easily just because I have a B-res. We'll see. I've never played a class with a B-res before and tried to climb. I've only played Shadow Priest for too many years. So yeah, that's why I chose the Retribution Paladin. So for the setup, I'll be showing you a few add-ons that I highly suggest you guys use even as a beginner. I think it's pretty much a must-have. These are going to be Bigwigs or Deadly Boss Mod are two pretty good in-game help for mechanics during dungeons. Bigwigs I think is for raids. I think they have a different one. I think Little Wigs is the one for dungeons, but maybe you need both. I highly suggest you get both, just to make sure it works. I prefer Bigwigs. It's personal preference. I don't know. I've used it for the last 2 years, and this is the one I use. But if you prefer Deadly Boss Mode, they do both the same thing. Details is pretty good for knowing how much you do, how much damage you deal. It helps you compare yourself with others. I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to always do this, but it gives you an idea of where you are. If you pop off too hard, you'll be like, okay, I'm doing something right? But if you're under the healer or something, like now you could be like, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Details is really good just to give you an idea of how much you're doing. I don't think it's a good idea to use this to be toxic, so let's use this to improve, alright guys? Faster loot. I'll give you this. This is a bonus. This is so great. Take this. Take this. This is crazy. For dungeons, MDT, Mythic Dungeon Tools, will be pretty handy eventually. As a DPS, it won't really matters. If you're a tank, this is really good to help you plan your path that you're gonna use in a dungeon. I hope you use this. This is pretty good. Radar.io really it shows you current points that everyone has. So if they did a lot of dungeons, they're gonna have a higher points. Gives you an idea of how good a player is if you want them in your group. This really helps you take a decision on whether or not this player is good or not. Not always a great. It doesn't always. It's not because someone has high points means it's really good. You'll find out eventually, but it gives you an idea of what experience they have and everything. And yeah, so I highly suggest you guys take this and keep it up to date daily. I think you need to update it pretty frequently to make sure that you have up-to-date data in game. So try to make sure to update it once in a while. Simulation craft will be used eventually. I won't be getting into simulations from the start. I don't think it's necessary to do this when you start doing Mythic Plus. I'll get into it eventually, but I really don't think it's necessary. Do get it for when you'll get there, but eventually it'll be like a really good tool to help you improve your gear and make sure you're mid-maxed on your stats. Secondary stats are at the right place, the best enchants you have, the best trinkets, and everything. And finally, Weakauras is pretty huge. Yeah, I'm gonna show you actually some Weakauras that I'm suggesting for you guys. Weakauras actually helps you like put custom timers on your screen, but people go crazy with this. It could be anything. Like I can't even name everything, but it could be anything. But what I'm suggesting you guys to get is at least a Weakauras of your class. So I went to Wago.io. I'll try to put the link in the description. And I just searched Paladin for World of Warcraft. And as you can see here, I see Luxtos, which is one I use most of the time. That made a Weakauras for the class of Paladin, but you can see it does even Holy, Protection, and Retribution. There's also FNR. I think these are pretty much the two most populars. But if you go down, you can find like maybe someone does a different one that really is better for you. It's all preference based. I'm pretty familiarized with the one from Luxtos. Your heart's too hard to pronounce, man. You have to change your name or something. So yeah, I'll be using this because also I'm pretty good at customizing my own UI. And I might do it eventually, but I'll try not to do it too early, just not to mess you guys up, and try to see, like, give myself a scenario where I'll have the same tool as you guys have. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Also, yeah, what you can do is just go in the Weakauras and go on Dragonflight dungeons and see the most popular Weakauras. And, you know, if you're looking for something to improve your UI a bit, just look around here. Sometimes you'll find something useful. I think the Mythic Plus Super Dragonflight dungeons is like something that's pretty much necessary. I will be downloading this one for the series, but yeah, so Mythic Plus Timer is pretty good too. I really like this one in particular. And yeah, you can look around and try to find some Weakauras that are looking good for you. Some of them are pretty good. There was one where if you unlocked a teleport to a dungeon, you could just click on the picture of the dungeon and it would start casting the teleport. So small like life change, some small improvements to your gameplay that you can find by just getting a Weakauras. So yeah, I'll be opening the game and try to set up a bit my Paladin for tomorrow, which will be the release of Season 3 dungeons. and hopefully I'll be able to show you guys my thought process on how I place my buttons and everything, and show you the add-ins and how they work. All right, so I just opened the game and find out that my Paladin isn't ready to do Mythic Plus Dungeons at all. I'll be working on this today and try to reach 70 as fast as I can. Just wanted to show you guys the add-ons I have installed. So pretty much these are the ones that I'm gonna be using. I have a few more that are installed, but I won't be using most of them. Details is pretty good. LVY I think is the one that I haven't mentioned while I showed CurseForge, because it's not on CurseForge. It's a whole UI replacement. It's not necessary to use this. I use this because I think it's prettier. If you like it, you can go and get it. Try to find default settings for these. I might, if you guys really want it, I will be giving you guys my profile to start with this. I don't think that's the best one, but it's the one that is customized the best for me. I improved it little by little every day. I moved a few things, and I think it's at a pretty good state right now. So if you're interested, I'll be adding this to a comment or something. Yeah, so little wigs. Method rate tool is not necessary. I could remove this. This I won't be using. Plater is also something that is just customizable. Health bars over enemies. If you really want it, you can go and get that. Puzzle, I think it's just better mail service. Pre-made group filters. This is a good one. This is a good one I haven't seen in the list. Please get pre-made group filters. It's gonna make your finding groups way easier than you need than it needs to be. Like highly suggested. Highly suggested. Rail scanner, RCL console. I won't be using them. Save instances. I mean, it's just these are not important. Share media doesn't matter. Mission craft, TomTom. I mean, this is like just. Sometimes you need to have an arrow that points you where to go. This TomTom works like this. You won't need it if you're only doing Mythic Plus, but if you're doing like, I don't know, trying to find a particular points in the map that you found online, TomTom is pretty good. You put a coordinate in your chat and it points you where to go in game with an arrow. Just follow the arrow and you get there. Twitch emotes is a must-have. If you like memes, unlimited map pin distance is pretty useful. So you can put pins in your map, but if you're too far, it doesn't show in game. But this makes it so you can see further than you're supposed to, and this helps you like make a straight line to a certain destination, even if it's really far. So you're not wasting too much time doing a detour, trying to find out where exactly to go. You can see where it is. And Weakauras, which are pretty much must-haves. All right, so let's go into my character and show you how I will be setting up my bar. Also, I'll let you guys know I'm using a mouse with 12 buttons on the side. Let me show you, like this. If you don't have this, you can work without it. What I like about this is having spells on your right hand. It helps you cast stuff as you run. So if you can have it, it's nice to have. It won't limit you into getting KSM if you don't have it. But I mean, if you like it or you think it would be better with it, I highly suggest if you have the budget to do it. But if you want to get into it and you feel like you won't be able to get it because you don't have the mouse, it doesn't work like that. You can be really good at the game, and I'll try to show you guys that you can do it. I hope you can, and I'll do everything in my power to make sure that you guys get KSM dispatch. All right, my EOI is way too big. What's happening? What's happening? The scaling is crazy. Everything is not at the right place. This is not going well. All right, first of all, I'll go and update LVR manually. I need to go online and download it. I'll be right back. All right, there you go. So updating LVI did help. Everything is way cleaner now. This is usually what I use to play a game. So just to give you a little tour of my UI, I'll show you here is my health. This is my target's health and their target here. If I have a target focus, it's over here. And we'll have my pet HP over here. And yeah, I like having my bars like these. I do have keybinds for 1 to 9. And then the row above it is shift 1 to 9 and then control plus 1 to 9. This is how it works for me. I like having F, Q, and E also. Eventually you'll find where you like your keys to be, and you'll see like patterns if you play other classes that you'll be like, well, I like to have my my AoE stun on shift 7. Like that's my AoE stun button. My fear on my priest is also there, so I put blinding light there. It just makes sense. Muscle memory, I don't have to think about it, it's always there. So this is how it works for me on how to place my spells. Eventually you just find out where they have to go, and it comes naturally. So the idea is to go in my talents, and I'll be going for retribution spec. I don't think I have a weapon, but my goal will be to level up to 70 and try to learn how to play the spec. So I might show one run today just to give you an idea of how that's not what I wanted to press on, to show you how I would approach learning the class, playing around. So I'll spend some time off screen just reading about a bit on the wallhead, and then I'll come back in game and try to queue for a dungeon and record the whole run and try to give you an insight on what's going through my head, my thought process on learning the class, and try to show you guys how you can improve learning a new class. So really excited to be back in the game, by the way. Like, I thought it would be worse than this, but World of Warcraft is a great game. It's fluid, it's nice, I'm happy, I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. This is gonna be fun, so let's see how it goes. Alright, so change of plan. So what I did is I emptied everything on my bar, because as you can see, some of the spells were on the wrong spot. I wanted to get on my mount, and I teleported here in the Worlds of Draenor, which is not where I wanted to go. I don't want to come back here ever again, but this is what happened. So what I would do is, first of all, I need to wear a two-handed weapon, and I don't have one, so I'll have to fix that in a few. I might go and buy some weapon in the auction house. I didn't want to get too much gold. I think this is pretty decent. I'll start with this and try not to give myself more gold. I'll try to not like buy BOEs or something. This will make no sense, but try to show you how you can improve on a budget and yeah, just like do a normal run and see how it would go. So yeah, so let's show you guys how I would approach like learning my class. First of all, yeah, you need to have most of the buttons on your screen somewhere. So what I would do is, let me just swap here. Yeah, I will go on the red guide here and go on the talent builds and go for the mythic build. I'll just press copy the build, go in game, and paste it right here in the default loadout. You can import the text, so you put the import text here. Oh, let me just show you back in game. There you go. So yeah, I'll do it again. And to open your talents, my menu is hidden here. It doesn't show until I mouse over it. Less clutter on the screen. So yeah, so you click here at the bottom left. Now it's my face that's hiding it. Over here, import. You just paste the code that the sites give you, and you give it. That was loud, way too loud. Whoa! And I'll just leave the queue because I'm explaining. And then it's gonna give you all the points. Like I said before, it's a lot of stuff to read. And you see there's also really a bunch of spells that has been added to my bar, but I don't know what they do. And I don't even have the default ones on my bar, which I need to put, right? So, yeah, I'll be putting all the spells on my bar. What I like to do first is to go in the rotation. On the website, I can show both like this. Yeah, this is great. All right, let's do that. And go on the rotation, and let's just see a single target rotation first, and then let's go and put everything in order. So Avenging Rat. This is a 1 minute cooldown, so usually I don't like to put it on the row without the modifier key. So usually my burst CDs are on control 4. That's personal preference. You put it wherever you want it. My immunity is on C7. Well, let's just go on the rotation. Execution sentence is a talent. Don't think I have it. Let's see where it is. I don't see it, but I don't have it, so I won't be using this. Templar's verdict. This is gonna be here. Let's find this. Shield of the Righteous. That's not it. Oh, it's gonna be in Retribution, obviously. This is gonna be good. There you go. Final verdict. This is a spender, from what I know. 3 holy power. So usually the Pally class works on holy power. It's gonna be shown here under my health bar. Let me just hide this like this. It's gonna be shown here. 3 bars means yeah, so it means it costs 3 holy powers, so it's gonna cost 3 bars under here. So I don't know if there's a target I can use somewhere. Maybe this. I don't have a weapon to I don't have a weapon to charge it, sadly. I will need a 2-hander, which I don't have. I could get one real quick. There it is. So see, now I can use my spells. And I see a critter over there. Let's try to hit this. See how much damage I can deal. And my mouse doesn't work. Let's do it with the keyboard. So see, I got 1 holy power. If I get 3 of them, I can use Final Verdict, which will consume all the charges. This also, as you can see, has a 15% chance to reset the cooldown of Hammer of Wrath, which is a finisher. Where is it? Hammer of Wrath might be... Hammer of Wrath, there it is. This is a spell that is only usable on enemies that have less than 20% health. These are executes, which means that it's usually really good to cast them, since they have a restriction on when you can use them. So usually they compensate with having more damage on them. So usually they're pretty high up in the rotation. All right, let's see what's next on the priority list. I won't forget to show you guys. Wake of Ashes. So I think I've seen this. There it is, Wake of Ashes. 30 seconds cooldown is pretty huge. Usually this is where I go with the shift. This is how I deal with this. So I'm gonna put this right there for now, and we'll adjust in the long run. Divine Toll, same thing. Pretty huge cooldown, 1 minute shift. Seems like a pretty good place to put it. Like I said, Hammer of Wrath, which is an execute, is pretty high up for like a 7.5 second recharge. It's pretty high up. It's with the Judgment, Blade of Justice, and Templar's Verdict if you're not capped. So yeah, you can see Templar's Verdict is here twice on the rotation. It means whenever you have 5 holy power, you really have to use Templar's Verdict. But if you don't have it and you have something else to cast, you're better off casting something else and then cast Templar's Verdict at 5 holy power. But if you're at 3 holy power, what it says is you're not supposed to use it at all. But if you have everything on CDs and you have 4 holy power, it's better to cast Templar's Verdict than to wait and do nothing. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. And we'll have to also check for the multi-target rotation. Usually the spender is different. As you can see here, instead of using Templar's Verdict, we're using Divine Storm, which also consumes 3 holy power, but instead does AoE damage. As you can see, we don't see Templar's Verdict at all in this rotation. We can also see that over the rotations, there are tier pieces that you can select, which will modify your rotation. You won't be getting this too soon, I think. So it's better off just learning without these toggled on. And whenever you get the gear and get the tier set, you could check how it affects your rotation just by clicking on these buttons. As you can see though, here Hammer of Wrath is not really good in AoE since it's a single target rotation button. So if you have it and you can cast it on something and everything else is down, now you use Hammer of Wrath. That's pretty much the logic here. So with this in mind, I can see that Wake of Ash seems to do a bit more damage than Divine Toll. So, and you need to be at 2 or less holy power. So whenever I see this, I think Wake of Ash is probably is better when you have low holy power. So it probably generates holy power. So if we check in game what it says that it deals, you can probably see it at the bottom right, it might be small, but dealing radiant damage to all enemies within 14 yards in front of you, reducing their movement speed. And demons are stunned, but it says generates 3 holy power. So if it's really high in the priority, usually it does a lot of damage or gives you a lot of resources to consume. As you can see here, once again my game is duplicated, I'm sorry. The idea is here is to use this as a generator for your holy powers. If you have more than 2, well, you'll be generating 3 holy powers, but you can only get 5. So if you have 3 holy powers and you use the spell, you're gonna get overcapped. So you're gonna lose. It's only gonna generate 2 holy powers at the end. So you're gonna lose that 1 holy powers that you could have generated if you spent, not wasted, more of your holy powers. So this is pretty much the approach that I have whenever I see a new rotation. Wake of Ash is going to be good. Divine Toll, C0 and 1 holy power. So this probably makes a lot of holy power. Once again, we can go and check in game. I didn't show the website. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go back and forth, but I'm not doing a really good job. It casts Judgment on up to 5 targets within 30 yards. And it deals 100 increased damage, 100% increased damage. And if we read Judgment, what it does over here, it strikes the target, dealing holy strike damage and causing them to take 20% increased damage from your next holy power ability. Sorry. So and it generates 2 holy power, so you need to have available holy power slots to make sure that whenever you cast Divine Tolls, you're going to cast Judgments on multiple target. So it's going to make you make more holy powers. So with that in mind, this is going to show you, it's going to tell you to only use it if you're at 0 or 1 holy power. So if you hit 2 targets, you're going to make 4. If you have 0 and you hit at least 3 targets, you're going to get from 0 to full holy power, which is going to be really good, I think. Probably need to make sure you spend all your holy power as soon as you can before you use Divine Toll to make sure you get everything out of all the holy powers it could give you. Blade of Justice is already on my bar. We've seen it. Then we need Judgment, which I just seen. I don't think I put it though. I just moused over it. Let's put it on bar. And then Divine Storm, I'm gonna put it close to Final Verdict. I like to have different spenders on the same buttons, but with a modifier. Oh, see, I put it twice. So 2 would be my Final Verdict, which is my single target spender. And then if I do AoE, I do Shift 2. So this is how I like to do that. If you have any more difference, like you like it a different way, do as you like. This is not a rule that you have to follow like strictly. It's do what works for you. Then Divine Storm, Hammer of Wrath. I think I have everything. I will be confident going into a dungeon with just the spells I have on my bar right now. Obviously, there's a lot more that I don't have. That is most likely supposed to be on my bar. As you can see, if you go inside the spell book, every spell that flashes means it's not on your bar, and you should put it. So try to read on them. There are not, most of them will not be damage dealing abilities, but they will be utility, survivability abilities. So make sure you get all of them somewhere on your bars. Some classes has way more spells than others, like Demon Hunters doesn't have much. I think the last few classes doesn't have much, so if you're playing Demon Hunter or Augmentation or Evoker as a whole, doesn't have a lot of spells, so you don't need a lot of spells on your bar. So if you're not playing with a mouse, maybe it's better for you to play some of these classes. So yeah, I'm gonna put most of them somewhere on my bar to make sure that I have them available and try to think about using them. I won't put myself into pressure to use them at all. I will be just make sure they're somewhere on my bar so that I think about it at some point. This is the battle res I talked to you about, I think. Yes. So you see the 10-minute cooldown. It's a 10-minute cooldown. And it reses someone with 60% health and 20% of their mana. At least. I don't know if you can get more than that. I don't know. So yeah, so this is a good spell to use. Some of them are like pretty gimmicky or unexplained, like shows the location of all nearby undead on the minimap. Not really useful. I might not even put it on my bar, to be honest. Yeah, so I would just get into the game, trying to find out which buttons are useful, which are not, and try to get everything on the bar and just filter out what you think are pretty useless, if there is no utility. As you can see, I've put I think all of the spells on my bar already, and I have a lot of holes. So Paladin to me right now doesn't come off as a class that has too many spells. So I think it's gonna be pretty noob friendly for a new player to start playing. So if you guys are new to the game, you could try to level up a Retribution Paladin and use the tips I'll give you to improve on your own games. Hopefully this could help a bit. Alright, so I'll queue for a dungeon and try to see how it goes. Also, I'll lower the sound because it was pretty loud last time. Alright, so I tried to make the Weakauras work. It didn't, so I went with the Afenar Weakauras instead. And also, I think I haven't showed you guys how to open the Weakauras options. So if you go in chat, you type /WA Weakauras, and it's gonna come up this menu. So import, and I just pasted the code from online here, and here is gonna say import. So first tip I do when I get this is gonna show you everything that it's supposed to show you at some point. It's not gonna get that big and that into your face. What you want to do is make sure the scaling of the icons are good for you. So let's see, I see here that there's an overlap with my mana bar. So I will want this to be a bit higher. So I'll go on the whole group, make sure you select the whole group and try to offset it a bit on the up. As I could see, this was the icon that was too high up, and this is where I would want it to be. But now it's pretty close to my character. I think it's a bit too close to my liking, so I'll just make sure it's a bit smaller, and maybe a bit down again. This is more manageable. I think this will do the job for now. I'll see if I want to change this or not. This is something else I just saw. Usually you can see there all the UI are clumped up, and personally I think the cast bar is pretty annoying for me. This is still too loud. I did lower the sound, guys, but it was too loud. So let's go into this one with this UI. It doesn't really matter. What I will do eventually is remove the cast bar here. I don't like it. I already have a cast bar that I put myself here. I want to use this instead and not the cast bar here. It's going to be distracting for nothing. I'll remove it and use this gap to lower these and make more room for where my character is eventually. So I won't be doing this right now. It's not high priority. It's just personal preference. So we'll get into our first run and see how it goes. But not right now. Later. Maybe now. I will lower the sound and see how it goes. It was 100, it was 30%. It was still too loud. Now it's not loud enough, I think, but that's me. Alright. So, someone has the quest. We'll just take the quest. Just give me the quest? I think that's it. Yes. So, I put my spells in order of priority. Oh, I still have a few spells that are on the way, but I don't know what they do. Creates a barrier that absorbs HP, so this is a defensive. Let's put it here. Reduce all damage you take by 30%. This is also a defensive. So, see, I'm not stressed about DPSing. It's relaxed. It's a random dungeon, guys. So, take this chill and just read for your spells. My mouse isn't working. This is great. This is just to show you that you don't have to sweat about it during while you're learning you're doing your first run and learning. It doesn't matter. See? Eventually my mouse will work and we'll be able to work with this. I need to clean it up, I think. It's been a while since I've used this side of the mouse, this piece. Let's see if it works right now. Yes, we could see. Yes, I'm throwing spells. Alright. So, I've put the spells in order, so I just need to follow the priority. Let's go 3. And then I got enough points. You see I have 3 of them. Let's use my spender. And then I got a bunch of spells that are pretty huge to use when I'm in AoE. So let's just try to use them for fun. See, I just use a bunch of stuff. I don't know what that does. I'm just throwing stuff around. I'm playing around, just getting a feel of the class and see how it goes. I won't be trying to do interrupts or anything. Just pressing buttons as I see them flash and play around with the class. Just get a feel of it. It doesn't really matter when you're leveling. Like, this is how I suggest everyone just learns the basic of their class. As you do it as a lower level, you'll have even less spells to read and learn about, and you'll get a few more that adds complexity to the rotation over time. So it's really the best way to put yourself in a situation where you'll be able to learn your class and really pay attention to what's going on. Yeah, so once again, just throwing spells around. Whenever I see I can use my Divine Storm, I just use it. I don't ask myself a question about oh, am I gonna spend too much? Am I being efficient? No, I just see stuff flash and I use them. There's also this. It says it calls down a blast of heavenly energy, dealing damage to all target, causing them to take 30% increased damage from your holy powered abilities. This seems like a pretty good burst, so usually I'll try to you try to put all your burst CDs at the same place. I'm not using anything to boost my speed. I'm just showing you guys what I expect a new player to approach the game and see what I would prioritize first. So one great thing I did here and I hope you guys start doing eventually, is use all your CDs all at once, and eventually you'll figure out in which order to do them to be really efficient. What I'm doing right now, I'm purposely doing the rotations wrong to show you it doesn't matter. I'm just focusing the boss, and this is what I suggest a new player will do too, is whenever you get to a boss, this is where you should pop everything you see that you know deals a lot of damage. This is like the most important part. If you don't use it on ads, I think it doesn't matter as much, but a boss, you really don't want to wipe on a boss. So priority is to use your CDs when you're fighting a boss, that's for sure. So as you can see, I got a new item. It's higher item level than what I'm wearing. I'm not gonna read what it does. It doesn't matter. It's higher item level, and I want to get my item level as high as I can. This is because most content in the game is locked behind item level. People won't take you into group if you don't have a high item level. This is going to be easy to farm, I think. To get for +2 is really easily reachable. Usually you just do a quest for the game, and it gives you pretty decent gear so you can start doing dungeons. The other point I was trying to get into is, yes, there's also content like Raid Finder, which is locked behind item level. So you want to get as high of an item level as you can, so you can get into these Raid Finder and get some easy loot just by doing them every week. Oh, I did an interrupt. This is not on the curriculum. I'm going too far. Good habits are coming back. It's hard to stop them. So yeah, just try to get a feel of your class. I'm just trying to pop everything as it comes. Once again, the big cooldowns that I see that I have, you see some of them are taking just a few seconds, so like 2 seconds, 6 seconds, 11 seconds, 8 seconds. These I can cast freely whenever I feel like they're flashing. I see they're up. I want to use them as when I can. And I really don't care if it's AoE, single target. I'm just pressing buttons. One of the rules of the game is called the ABC. Always be casting. This is works for casters, right? Because you always want to be casting a spell. But I would say it's the same thing for melee players, because what you want to do is always be pressing a button. You don't want ever to like right click on the target and have spells ready to be cast and not be casting something. So what you want to do is always cast something. I'd rather you guys click on something that is not the right spot on the priority, but at least you're casting something. You see something flashing, click on it. You just need to spend the resources you have, and the cooldown on a spell is also a resource. So you need to spend your resources that you have. So as you can see, this is another boss. What I'll do is I'll do exactly what I said earlier. I'll be using my DPS cooldown. So this is a good big cooldown. Well, it's 1 minute. This is 30 seconds. This is big. This is 1 minute. This is big. I see I have my Hammer of Wrath, which is my execute, is being... I'm able to cast it, even though if you see the target, it doesn't have 20% or less health. So I'm kind of asking myself, why am I able to cast it, even though the requirement for me to be able to cast it? Well, I'm pretty lucky, 2 items back to back. Yeah, the requirement of them being at 20% or lower HP wasn't met, but I could still cast it. So something is making me able to cast it. So I'll need to pay attention and find out what's making me be able to cast this, and so I know in the future. As I see right now, I was able to cast it once. Now it's gone. So I think there's something that periodically lets me cast it once, and And once again, I don't know what it is because I don't know my talents at all. And everything is gonna, I'm gonna have to spend some time just figuring out what everything my class is doing. But as I said, I'm trying not to overcomplicate things, just press buttons and try to differentiate the ones that are expensive in time and which one are like in the main rotation. So which one has short cooldowns. So also, like, basic mechanics of the game is always to stay outside of AoE. So if you see something bad on the ground, try to step away from it. This is why Lil Wigs or Deadly Boss Mode is pretty useful. They're gonna show you where it's gonna play a sound anytime you're spending time, anytime you're on something that you shouldn't be on. So back to the rule. I'm fighting a boss right now. I'm popping everything that has a high CD on it, and I'm just gonna go and hit the thing. I don't care about mechanics. There was something counting, I didn't care. I'm just hitting the boss, I don't care. I see something on the ground. Oh, see, this hit me pretty hard. I will need to pay attention next time. So I could see that it was something gray around the boss. So let's try to find out. Oh, the boss is dead. I'll make a mental note that I remember that something happened there that cost me a lot of health. And I'll try to figure out what it is. I'm just following the tank right now. I don't know. I do know this dungeon. I could be like pushing him ahead and showing him the way, pulling more mobs to make this run go faster. I'm not doing this. I'm just enjoying the game, playing around. I'm with a bunch of strangers. We're a bunch of role players, and we're just messing around and learning a new class. So, and I'm enjoying it. So, this is my goal right now. I'm dodging stuff, but I really don't need to. I could be getting hit. Let's try to get hit by that. Oh, it pushes me back. Alright, I don't want to get hit by that, so I try not to get hit by that. Oh, I'm getting pushed again. Doesn't matter. Will I not be able to finish this run because I'm getting hit by every circle? No, it doesn't matter. This is when you're doing normal dungeons, this is a place where you should feel safe to play around and learn and make mistakes. Like, do every mistakes you can think of and you'll still probably do it. The goal is to learn from them, right? If you just keep doing them over and over again, but don't pay attention as to what is making you take a lot of damage or see, now I'm getting pushed back. Oh no, I fell off. What happens when I fell off? Oh, it's pretty slow. Oh, where am I going? Oh, I'm getting pushed back right at the start of the bridge. And now I have to run all the way back. So now I know I don't want to get pushed out of the bridge. And it's normal. It's a normal dungeon, pun unintended. But yeah, it's normal to make mistakes, and you need to make them to learn from them. So don't feel scared. Just go into it. Trust in yourself. I think you can do it. And allow yourself to make mistakes and just learn from them. So, oh, thank you. So this is a spell from a priest. They can pull people around. I used to love doing this on my Shadow Priest. You see how nice they were? They were like, hey, I'll give you a hand. So, oh yeah, so this is a boss. What I do, I spend all my huge cooldowns. This, I need to spend it. I don't know in which order I need to spend them. I just want them to be down. And let's see how much I'm doing with this. Oh, I see I have button to press. I press them. Oh, I have nothing to press. What do I do? So, by doing this is overall the DPS from the dungeon. Usually that's what it is. See, this is the overall of the dungeon, right? So the tank did a lot of damage, right? This is the druid. I'll try to give a profile of my details. This is the druid. He did a lot of damage. Usually AoE is pretty easier for tanks. He's also level 70. So while you're leveling the dungeons, They scale with your level, but when you're 70, you usually have access to gear that will push your DPS even further. So having a 70 player in your dungeon group will make it go way easier than it is supposed to. As you can see, he did a lot of damage, so 7.7 million is pretty big. But what I like to see is the number on the right, which is damage per second, DPS. You can see he did 12.8, and I did 8.8, 8.6, sorry. And I didn't do anything crazy, right? I was just using my CDs when they come up. Whenever there was a boss, I use my big CDs, the one that has a longer cooldown. And I prayed. I just pressed anything that was flashing. I think maybe it's also lucky. I think Paladin probably works better doing this than other class. It doesn't seem to be too punishing for doing stuff the wrong way. And I think these are pretty much easy classes to take. I think Red Pally sounds like it is right now. I think Demon Hunter, I mentioned before, and Evoker seem to be pretty much in the same kind of pattern. So if I had the classes to suggest to some new players, Evoker, Demon Hunter, I think are pretty easy picks. There's also Hunter, because if you're starting to play range, Hunter is pretty good because you can take your range, but you don't have you don't have to be casting all the time. You can move and attack at the same time while playing Beast Mastery, which is one of their specialization. So this is pretty noob friendly. And I would say as a caster, I think Frost Mage is pretty noob friendly too for a beginner. Their rotation is pretty simple. You don't have to. You can mess up and it doesn't change too much. I think it's pretty efficient. You bring Bloodlust, you're pretty liked into a group. So yeah, if I had to give caster beginner advice, I would say Frost Mage. So yeah, that's it for the first one. I'll be doing more dungeons the same way until I reach 70 as fast as I can. Try to get myself prepped up for the patch. Hopefully this gives you an idea of how I approach learning a new class and helps you guys getting to see it. This is the first step. Stay excited. It's gonna be great, guys. So hope you guys have a good one, and thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Good luck.